Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. The new modern hospital that is being constructed at Lima along the Essequibo coast should be completed and operational by the first quarter of next year.
We're working to finish this by the end of the year. We have the team from Sinopharm and CAMC. They'll be working to complete this by the end of the year. So at least by first quarter, everything should be open and operational. So that's our aim. Right now, we have just completed the list of equipment that would be in the hospital, so they would start sourcing the equipment while we were building out the facility. And so once the facility is completed, equipment would be installed, and then we have to bring the staff in and start operating the facility.
Nursing students from Region 2 will for the first time benefit from an $881 million training facility that will be established at Sudi along the Essequibo coast.
The government of Guyana, the president, is extremely pleased to situate this nursing school here because we know that it is going to be a game changer. We're spending here $881 million to build this school so that you can have a modern training facility in Essequibo. So make good use of it. We know that we'll be working very closely with the contractor, and he is going to work to make sure that this is finished in time so that we can do the kinds of training that is necessary so that we can have more and more qualified people in our healthcare system.
Additionally, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit NICU at the Sudi Hospital in Region 2 has been upgraded with state-of-the-art equipment catering for more patients.
So they started a pediatric program, and part of the pediatric program included neonatology. So we started at Georgetown Hospital. We built the neonatal unit there. Then we went to New Amsterdam. We're building in West Dem. So all the regional hospitals would have similar things to what you're seeing here.
The Ministry of Amerindian Affairs Welfare Department was critical in assisting Indigenous people in 2023 to resolve various matters concerning their overall well-being.
We've been able to provide a lot of support in terms of expending sums of money to fly them back into their villages. Welfare cases can vary between those who find themselves stranded in Georgetown in difficult financial circumstances. And so far we have, together with Coastal and Hinterland, a total of more than 1,000 such cases.
The First People of Guyana will continue to reap the benefits of strategic programs geared at infrastructural, economic, and social development as $9 billion is set aside in Budget 2024 to advance these projects.
We remain unwavering in our commitment to our Amerindian brothers and sisters and to delivering development in every single community in our country, irrespective of how far away that community may be.
A whopping $97.6 billion is budgeted for the advancement of Guyana's agricultural sector this year as it continues to experience rapid growth.
In 2024, we will continue to promote investments in large-scale agriculture by opening up new lands, developing high-yielding, pest-resistant and climate-resilient crop varieties, encouraging the establishment of modern farms to facilitate the use of technology and more efficient farm practices.
The sum of $967.8 million has been proposed to expand corn and soy production at Takamo.
Government's collaboration with the private sector to roll out a development program for corn and soybean has been very successful.
As the rice industry remains an integral pillar in Guyana's economy, $1.3 billion is budgeted for the Guyana Rice Development Board, GRDB.
We will continue to research and develop high-yielding varieties with good milling and cooking qualities and varieties that are salt-resistant and resistant to major rice diseases.
With heavy focus towards increased production in the agriculture sector, $1.2 billion has been allocated to develop the fisheries and aquaculture sector in 2024.
We will continue to invest in the growth of brackish water and Vaname shrimp production, as well as propel the development of cage culture for Tambaqui.
As Guyana is working aggressively to construct climate-resilient drainage and irrigation D&I infrastructure, $72.3 billion has been set aside for the maintenance and advancement of its D&I network.
For the purchase of 40 mobile pumps and for the work on the 2 Hope Light canals, sir, sums totaling $29.4 billion have been budgeted. In 2024, we will continue work on several other pump stations.
With heavy focus to accelerate the production of more coconuts due to the high demand and available market, $78 million is allocated towards Guyana's coconut subsector in 2024.
In 2024, government will continue to accelerate coconut production by investing in 39,000 high-yielding seed nuts, targeting 500 additional farmers. We will continue to pursue the conversion of coconut waste into value-added products.
Government plans to inject $135.2 billion into the education sector in 2024.
That education is absolutely critical to the realization of our national objectives, not only ensuring that every single Guyanese person of working age has an adequate opportunity to acquire the skills that are needed to participate meaningfully in the world of work.
Youths of Maka Arcadia are seizing the opportunity to be trained and employed following an engagement with a team of ministers. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Soni Parag, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, and Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, paid a follow-up visit to the community following last week's visit of President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali.
We can help you to get a skill so that you can get a job. There's so many, the way our country is going now, there's so many things and so many opportunities you have.
Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, engaged residents of Adventure, Silver Hill, and Kairuni along the Suzdek-Linden Highway. During the engagement, they were briefed on the $1.146 trillion budget that was presented to the National Assembly on Monday.
The budget again continues to create the conditions for us, all of us, to be able to lead productive lives and to be able to create wholesome communities.
Guyana's real gross domestic product, GDP, expanded by 33% in 2023, in contrast to the projected figure of 25.1% in the last budget.
Additionally, sir, while growth in the non-oil economy was mainly driven by expansions in the construction, growth in the non-oil economy was mainly driven by expansions in construction and services, agriculture, forestry, and fishing, and manufacturing, as well as in other mining and quarrying subsectors.
The pursuit of a safer country will be accelerated with the allocation of $90.6 billion in budgetary funding for the security sector.
We will also partner with strategic institutions like the New York Police Department and the RCMP of Canada in advancing major training reform initiatives.
Recognizing the significant increase in fires last year, the capacity of the Guyana Fire Service will be expanded in 2024.
In the new budget, we are looking at bringing in units and to expand what the volunteer fire service. We have had some volunteers already trained and in Letem and Madhya, Mabaruma, but this Wakanam, the service will be expanded.
As part of the Safe Country Initiative, command centers in Regions 3 and 6 are partially operationalized. The Guyana Police Force GPF is integrating information and communications technology (ICT) into its crime-fighting capabilities to enhance surveillance nationwide.
The orders will come on stream within the next 2 quarters. The equipment and furnishing and other infrastructure has to go in place to make those orders fully operationalized.
The Guyana Police Force is developing an e-ticketing system which is now in an advanced stage to address the challenge of increasing traffic violations.
At the technical levels in terms of setting up, I hope by the mid of the year that we'll be in a position to have it in place, but they have to go along with relation to the process and integrating it with the other things that we have to happen.
Construction of the power plant for Guyana's flagship gas-to-energy project is set to begin in the second quarter of this year. Civil works, which include the construction of a material offloading facility and a heavy haul road, have advanced significantly in 2023.
This investment is a major cornerstone for our nation's economic development and growth in coming years. I'm happy to report that progress has allowed the project to remain on track for a startup by the end of this year.
Stakeholders in Guyana's legal community received volumes 1 to 3 of the criminal bench books for magistrates and parish court judges in the Caribbean, which will aid in the efficient and judicious handling of cases.
So the book presents a complete, and I dare say, an authoritative manual that can easily provide the type of guidance that is required both in court and when more in-depth research is required outside of court.
A state-of-the-art Hope and Justice Center was on Friday commissioned at Lusignan on the east coast of Demerara to combat gender-based violence. This facility is the first of its kind in the region and has a one-stop operational model. It allows victims to have access to a range of services such as counseling, legal recourse, and medical treatment.
When the victim comes here, depending upon the allegation, you have those different number of services that they will immediately receive. And most importantly, there is a facility here that will allow for that victim to be accommodated for periodic intervals.
More than 170 entrepreneurs of Region 2 have received small business grants. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Oni Jawalran led a team to the region to deliver the grants.
This year, we will continue with the process of taking in applications. We will be a little bit more judicious and careful. There will be priority sectors, and we will refine the process so that most of the applicants will be able to get the impact in which they are looking for.
The Ministry of Labour expanded their Board of Industrial Training program with a launch at the Guyana Industrial Training Centre. This launch is a fulfillment of a pledge made by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali to the residents of Kiti. This has brought us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related stories, do log on to our website at dpi.gov.gy and their social media platforms as well. Goodbye.